feel like there's a theme, but I can't put my finger on it.
Well, people said we don't do enough Pittsburgh stuff, so let me tell you a story. Next on Ugly Thirds.
Welcome to Ugly Thirds. Today's show is going to be titled Rebranding Robopen, Johnny's Jersey Stories. John and Shrems, take it away.
He really nails that, doesn't he?
It's like he didn't even practice.
Why are we paying the big bucks?
Wait, I'm getting paid?
Help! God.
So, how do we get from this to that? That's the real question here. Because there is quite a story with that.
Okay.
And perhaps more so, when we got to that, we got this for a white and this for the black. What? How does that work? Well, there actually is a story to that.
Okay.
And this came out, I mean, technically it came out in 1992, whenever this was a new thing. About a month into the season, Paul Steigerwald, who was the color commentator for the TV and radio, KBL probably back then, and so he did a little thing in the intermission about rebranding the Penguins. And you can find the whole thing on YouTube. It's 2-3 minutes. But I want to play a short clip from that right now about this rebranding. Okay.
There was serious consideration given to having 4 different uniforms, but the NHL wasn't crazy about that idea.
There was some thought about going with 4 different uniforms, yes. 2 home, 2 away.
These were the 2 away ideas?
Right.
That's pretty nice too, huh?
It's my favorite.
Well, some of those were stunningly bad. Stunningly.
Well, the main takeaway is that the Penguins wanted to do 4 jerseys.
Yep.
And they started this process of rebranding allegedly before the team was sold. It was sold and bought in '93. So like things were in the work. Logos don't happen overnight. Obviously, rebrandings don't happen overnight. So they won the cup, and they're like, let's cash in on this and get new merch. And so that's what happens next. If anything,
it's a smart idea.
And the Penguins have never been one to shy away from making a buck. Now, that's just it. They are a really good franchise. Like, when any kid has a problem, kid got his jersey stolen in Nova Scotia, and Sidney Crosby was there the next day, give him a new. Like, they're really good with that stuff. But there's a reason why there's an official hot dog provider, sausage provider, and every other food you could like. Like, why do you need 2 different ones for that? Because the Penguins can make a buck.
Yep.
You know what's wrong with that picture. Phil, I'm going to need you to put. And if anything, I can have you do this as well.
I'm going to hold them up side by side.
Go ahead, Jersey Cam.
So I can see it, Jersey.
1 second.
Oh, boy. All right.
What's wrong with these images? It's the same thing wrong. Do you know what it is, Shrems?
I do not.
It's the new logo on the old jersey. These 2 items came out after, we can go back to the other camera. New logo, old jersey.
Huh.
And so this came out after the logo was released, but not the uniform. And so they put the new logo on the old uniform. And who knows how much stuff is like that out there of this tumultuous experience, right, of making this transition.
Okay.
Now, the team wanted 4 jerseys, 2 home, 2 road, is obviously to sell more merch. I mean, they among the first having actual catalogs for this stuff back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And the prices in this, like $300 for a Lemieux autograph jersey. Oh my God, if only.
Yeah, really.
But this was a whole big process. They wanted 4, 2 home, 2 road in order to sell more jerseys. And the NHL put the kibosh on that and said, no, you can't have 2 home, 2 road. Who would be crazy enough to do this? Now, in this process of making a logo, they came up with a ton of concepts. This obviously was over and over and over again. Let's take a look at some of those in the slideshow.
I've never.
So not only we have a peaking penguin. It's not the Robopen we're used to, and most of that is normal, except
the name bar at the
bottom. Says Pittsburgh Penguins at the bottom.
Oh.
In case you weren't sure.
Okay.
Very classy. It's almost corporate in how classy it is.
Is it just black and white?
I think it's gold, but it's a real gold.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Same
Good.
with the gold.
Good heavens.
Let's put a ringer. It doesn't say Pittsburgh Penguins around it. It's just circles, as far as I can tell. And
No,
there's more
it
circles.
says Penguins right here.
Does it?
Yeah, that
it
says
something.
Penguins.
Okay.
It says something.
On the bottom, I think it's just circles.
I think down here, yeah, it's just something. But this is the same ring they used on the Winter Classic jersey.
Oh, okay.
With the penguin with the scarf.
Nice. Good heavens.
There's something interesting in that.
Good.
They're still obsessed with this.
Ooh.
Right, it's peeking it. It's not fully.
Peking penguin.
Let's take the Flyers look and just do that. And the zigzag in the bottom and on the pants. And then that. Isn't that something?
People do this to their jerseys now. They do the home and road mashups and sew them together. It's egregious.
That okay, we're getting there.
Uh,
We're getting there.
yeah.
And I'm looking because there actually is. You can buy
Whoa.
one.
So this ends up. This is probably the foundation for Wilkes.
Scranton's.
Yeah,
It's
Wilkes-Barre.
closer with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton.
that is a jacked penguin.
The muscle penguin.
Good heavens.
Use the word mark
Oh,
along
classy.
with as many stripes as we can
million
fit.
stripes.
We're getting there,
That's not bad. Like what's with the rising sun sleeves there?
right? And then the same idea.
What's that shoulder? Thing
I
up
think
there?
it's one of those peking
It's the
penguins,
peking
but
penguin.
giant.
Oh,
There was
that's
a couple of them
huge.
ago had the same thing with the Peking Penguin.
That's huge.
And so that was actually what they settled on. They wanted 2 home, 2 road.
Ooh, those white Pittsburgh ones, the Wordmark ones, are not good.
So if we can come back here, first off, and what he was talking about with the split jerseys, like that was almost a real thing.
On rollerblades.
It said
Gah!
what was be one of the first to own this all new home and away official replica jersey. Combine the graphics from both the Penguins home and away jerseys into one eye-catching garment. A hit with Pittsburgh's roller hockey players. You've also seen this jersey on your favorite music videos. Buy it now for yourself or the hip, it's in quotes, hip hockey fan in your family.
It's such
What year?
90s right
90 I was
there.
gonna say
I want these 93 or
something.
94. Like it's hard to
My
find
goodness.
exactly for some of these things.
It was so important to be cool in the 90s.
So cool.
Oh my god.
But you also noticed that had a logo on both.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't, otherwise it would be half penguin, half erg. You could berg.
Berg.
You don't want to pitch,
The Berg.
but you could erg. So how did we get these 2 separate things? Because this was one set and this was another set. And they picked the best looking one of each set and said, you know what? That's what we're rolling with.
I think they made a good choice. I don't think the white Wordmark would have gone over very well. It's difficult to see.
Except
Oh.
we have seen these since then. I present to you Reverse Retro 1.
Oh.
The only difference, well, okay, so there's 2 key differences. It says Pittsburgh, not Penguins. It would have said Penguins at home and Pittsburgh on the road. Traditional baseball
like what
rules,
Florida does.
right?
Right.
Because you know where the team is.
Yep.
But white jerseys are worn where now?
On the road.
On the road. So they and okay, so it's more direct. And this is not the Robopen. Shrems, if you could fan out that logo for me. Yeah, no, the black on the black jersey, the original. Show me a Robopen.
A giant Robopen.
So there's that, and then let's go. Good pan. Nice big chunky starter Robopen. So we have had this comeback, and
wow, they threw it in your faces.
they brought it back.
They've been
actually
sitting on this since '93.
That's right. And if you want to put this on the 4th tripod, we can do that now. Like this was going to be the full 92-93 jersey set. And we have it now because of the Reverse Retro series. That there is indeed a better story with that. This has existed for 20 years and it finally made it to the ice.
Isn't that something?
Now, so if we can go back to the graphic one more time. Again, this is the unused stuff, right? I mean, that's exactly the Reverse Retro.
Yep.
And they put it out at the end of that video, and credit that. That's a really good look there. 20 years later, here it is.
Yep.
Now, in 92-93, Pittsburgh was told specifically, no, you can't do that. But in 1999, next slide.
Who did it? That's where my thought process went.
The Anaheim Ducks
The
were allowed to
only
have
ones.
4 jerseys, and that was fine.
Up
That
until
That mouse. You're right,
until
Phil.
Reverse Retro. You go through NHL uniforms. It's all 3. until, well, with the exception of
That
the
and-
Ducks, with the exception of Reverse Retro, which has all 4 listed. Most teams had 2, maybe 3, but never 4.
Right.
And Anaheim did.
So, with this would have been the first one, would have blazed a trail, and certainly gives a better story to both of these reverse retros than you'd otherwise have.
That's something.
That who would have thought rebranding Robopen was quite a big to do.
Yeah.
So why did it take so long for Robopen to come back, though?
I knew you were chomping at the bit on this one.
I was waiting. I didn't want to make sure you ended it before you.
Well, so Mario Lemieux hated these jerseys. They wore them in his preseason and never again.
Okay.
And so he also allegedly hated the Robopen logo. He thought that it was terrible, and that's why as soon as he joined the team, as soon as he took over as owner, we had this third jersey introduced. Skating Penguin returned,
which you like.
I loved.
Yeah.
And this didn't come back until he sold most of the team. Because even then, why is it this? Because he hates Robopen. And you know what's happened from this year to this year? He sold the team, and look what's front and center again.
He sold majority
share. You're right, because he is still part owner, but not what he was.
There's also a little conspiracy theory about why it's that shoulder penguin is that way without the triangle, and that was when they were first talking about selling the team again. Is if they end up moving to another city, you wouldn't have the golden triangle involved, so then there would be no connection to Pittsburgh involved in it.
I'll even do you one better. I've heard these 2 stripes, and I've never been able to find this again, were for Mellon Bank. Mellon Bank, it was reflective of their logo, and it was much bigger then. It's been bought out by Bank of New York, I think, now.
So Mellon Arena.
It was a subtle way to try and advertise their wares, but good luck finding any proof of that these days.
Not so much. But
no.
Fun internet lore nonetheless.
And that's kind of there's tons of fun stories in the jerseys. You just got to know the right people to ask.
Well, that's not internet lore.
Is that
Pittsburgh knew that was the real reason why the stripes are in there. It's just not in writing from any other.
It's one of those things you ask your babushka and she'll tell you all about it. Right?
There's a corner bar in Pittsburgh somewhere where somebody's waiting to tell somebody this story about the Mellon Arena and the Mellon Bank logo.
And that the Penguins used to wear blue. And on that note, he's Shrems, I'm John, this is Johnny's Hockey Stories. Phil, take us out.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and tune in for another episode of Ugly Thirds.
Jersey stories, branding. Branding is terrible.
Talk Pittsburgh.
Yins.
Yins.
In a hat.
Pop.